my everything.
Okay, we're recording.
This?
No.
No, okay, we're just sunburned today.
Hi, Susie. Hi.
Okay, let's see. Can we admit all? We've got Becky, Ridpat, David, Harold, Jane, Terrence, Tom Kinder. Yep, we can admit them all.
Let's turn this off and see.
We don't want any.
Oh, now we're in the dark. Oh,
Wow, all kinds of people coming on.
That's good. Nope, that didn't work.
no, that's.
That didn't work. I think you just leave it the way it was.
Yeah, let's leave it the way it was.
Yeah, let's leave.
Hey, TK, I don't know what I did to the camera.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're on. Hello.
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 Okay, now who's going to, is our volume all right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who got elected to tell us all about the Ireland trip?
Jane,
Jane, not Nancy.
huh? I said Jane, she wrote the book so she could tell the,
She
Oh,
wrote
she
the book.
wrote the book.
I didn't know you had a book every time you had a trip.
yeah,
Picture album, that's all we have.
first class
I don't know.
operation.
Jane, I don't think is hearing us.
Uh-uh,
She doesn't know that she
Jane,
got volunteered.
no, she isn't because she would comment, I'm sure.
No, she
I
is
took
now.
out my audio.
She can hear now.
What
Jane,
did, yeah.
guess what?
What?
You just got volunteered to be the one to tell all about the Ireland trip.
I did. Am I the only one besides Nancy that's here?
Mhm.
Well, we have
Yeah.
lots of,
Yeah.
So
I mean,
We have lots of
From the trip.
stories.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
All of them, Nancy?
it was a spectacular trip with a few little blurps at the last day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well,
We heard about that
heard
one.
about
part.
that.
yeah, we've been in touch with Felice. has she made it home yet?
She
Yes.
did get home yesterday and
Oh my
Oh my
feels,
gosh.
she still feels like she has a cold.
Okay.
So, but I
Well, we'll
told her,
fill everybody in on that. I don't know that anybody else knows about this other than,
No.
well, we had to test the day before we came home for COVID. And we'd been worried about Carol because earlier she had tested positive, but then a later test, she was negative. So we were worried about Carol, and it turned out that Felice was the one that had tested positive. And she stayed 9 extra days,
Oh,
No.
pretty much quarantined in the hotel room. But fortunately, our fearless travel leader had gotten us a really good insurance. So I think everything was covered.
Oh, good.
Ah,
They would bring her rooms or her food to the door and knock and leave it there. And the only time she really got out was to walk to the pharmacy to be tested.
Oh, gee.
I think
and
she
she
did,
was in Galway, you say?
yeah, in
Yeah,
Galway.
yeah.
uh-huh.
Wow. How big is Galway? I don't remember how big that is.
Oh, that's a neat town.
Yeah,
I like
I don't remember how big it is, but it's one of my
Nice.
favorite towns.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
then she had to drive early morning to Shannon as the rest of us did.
Yeah.
And she finally got out of Shannon to Newark, but because of the weather, she had to spend the night in Newark before she could go to North Carolina.
Jeez.
So that was bad. And
Do you
then
think
we
she'll
had
ever go on
another
another trip?
we had
Not out
another
of the
little
country,
problem.
probably.
Yeah, I don't, she's supposed to go the 19th to visit her son, I think in Michigan, but I don't know if she's doing that or not. And then we had another problem. So Diane is back at our hotel room trying to take care of Felice. And we walk across the street to the restaurant and they didn't have any sidewalks. So we're walking through the parking lot and Nancy Mallet tripped on the speed bump and went crashing on the back of her head.
Oh my gosh.
Blood everywhere, all
Oh,
over her jacket, her face. And so the manager and other people came running out and they lifted up her head and, it was bad. And she kept saying, I just want to get up and go in and have my Prosecco. Like, you're not getting up, we're calling the ambulance.
we'll bring it to you.
Yeah, we'll bring it to you.
It took what, at least 15 minutes when she say Nancy?
Yeah, at least.
I don't know what the problem was, because at least around here, within 5 minutes, they're there. But so they came and they said, we're going to check you out in the ambulance. So they had her in there and they said she was mad as a hornet. And they told her they had to take her to the emergency room, which she did not want, but they said, you've got 2 gashes on the back of your head and a huge bump. So she went off to the emergency room and we said, well, we'll just go have dinner. And
What the hell, man?
yeah, I mean,
You know, first things first.
Maybe she
We got
And
priorities here.
See you after dinner, Nancy.
well,
Yeah.
the manager of the restaurant, when we went back in, she said, I think you all need a glass of wine. And we had a glass of wine on the house.
All right, that's the least I could do.
but she also told us they were having a nurses strike and she said,
Oh, jeez.
it's going to be hours before she's looked at and it may be tomorrow before she is released. And we were all leaving the next day in the morning. So we're just there drinking and Nancy and another friend were eating mussels and we're having a good time, but really feeling very sorry for Nancy. And Diane texts us, it was about an hour and a half later, and she said, Nancy's back in her room. Well, they had moved her to a suite because they wanted to get her out of Felice's room. And she had this gorgeous suite.
Oh, jeez.
And she had just called room service, which included her Prosecco. And she showed us when they got to the hospital, she said there were people waiting everywhere, but the ambulance driver said, I've got someone with a head injury. So a doctor looked at her right away and
Cool.
he said, since I'm here, I'm going to put a couple staples in your head and you're on your way. So that's what he did,
My
along with
God.
the staple remover, which she had removed this week. And so she feels fine. She's a
What
little
a
bruised
trip.
up.
Yeah.
She had a couple falls, not her fault, really. We had one hotel where the bathtubs were very, very slippery and she fell in there.
Oh, jeez.
Probably cracked a rib or bruised a rib because
Oh
she
my
was all black and blue and
Wait, who was this?
Nancy.
That was also Nancy.
Nancy, yeah,
Not me, Nancy Mallet.
yeah.
The other
I
Nancy.
mean, I
Chapel.
really don't think she's having a balance problem. It was just bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised they didn't do x-rays to see if she had a concussion or something.
Yeah.
Amen.
I
Yeah.
know. I don't think they did though, did they, Nancy?
No, they did not. I asked her, I said,
And
they didn't x-ray your head? She said, nope, all they did was take my
And-
blood pressure.
And
Yeah.
then she flies the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Ooh.
Usually they don't do that unless you're exhibiting symptoms.
And she was, in fact, when she was on the ground, they were asking her questions and she
She was
maintained her sense of humor the whole time. Except when they drove her away, they said she was mad as a hornet. So
Other
Oh,
than that,
poor
Jane,
Felice, we figured Felice would be a couple days more and
yeah.
days.
did you enjoy the trip otherwise? except
Yeah,
for-
we had a fabulous time. Diane
Yes, we-
is amazing, the trip she plans.
Yes.
Tell us about the
Where did
different
where
towns
did
you
you
went
fly
to.
into?
Well,
Here?
No, they flew into Dublin.
Dublin?
we started in Dublin for
Okay,
3 days, I guess.
okay.
Right.
Which Jim Hoke, he's not on. He found, well, that's a whole nother story. And then the third day, we met our driver and guide who we were with in for 9 days. And he just made the whole trip for us. He was
Oh, yeah.
funny. He told
Those
us
guys
so
are
much
amazing.
history. And he was very flexible with our schedule. If we said, no, we don't really want to go there, then. So we started in Dublin, worked our way all the way down and then up to Galway, which is on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah, we did it just the opposite. We started in Shannon and went around and ended in Dublin.
Oh, okay.
did you go
get
up
to
north to?
Did you go see the Book of Kells or whatever it's called?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, Cal's, yeah.
Yeah, at Trinity College.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we went to that Kilmainham jail or whatever, however you pronounce
Jail.
that. I just put a book together, which I'm supposed to pick up anytime now, so we'll see. Then we can kind of figure out where we've been, because
you
we
go.
saw a lot.
Mhm.
Well, bring it
And
with you
lots
when you come out.
Okay, I will, for sure.
But they drive on the wrong side, what we call. the
Oh,
wrong-
yeah.
They did. They did.
Fun.
And they had so many roundabouts, like, oh gosh, I don't know how you can figure this out, but our guide works 6 months of the year as a travel guide, and the other 6 months he prefers India or Thailand,
Oh my
where he
God.
does yoga, and he's a vegetarian. He likes all their food
Oh
and
my gosh.
does a lot of meditation, and he's just a really, really neat guy.
I think a lot of them over there, that they're one of their favorite places to go for
Yeah, it's
vacations is
in
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah, I know. I know he really liked India a lot, but he said Thailand too. So he certainly had his hands full with 8 old ladies.
Oh, when you were in Dublin, did you get to the Temple Bar?
No, we got
No.
to O'Donoghue's
Okay.
bar, where there were 4 and 5 men over there strumming their banjos.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's so
guitars, and
cool.
It was really neat.
Did you get to the Danny Man?
Well, that's in Killarney.
Well, it's in Killarney. It's over there on the.
Well,
west
Oh, we
side.
were in
Yeah.
Killarney.
Did
No.
you go to Killarney, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh,
And
my
you didn't
God.
go to the Danny
Oh, my
Man?
gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
We should.
Nobody told us about the Danny
Next
Man.
time.
We did. We told you to go to.
No,
Danny.
I don't
That
think
kind
so.
of went in one ear and out the other by the time we got there.
Yeah.
Our days, we traveled we met him at 9:30 because some people aren't early risers. And then we didn't get back till 5:30 a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you get to Kinsale?
Ken? No.
Kinsale.
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 Over on the west side. Kilkenny?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And what was the Abbey? Kilmar Abbey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
that was,
That
and
was a-
there was only 2 days where we needed briefly to put up our umbrellas. The rest of the time. it
Oh,
didn't.
that's
my gosh.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's because we weren't with you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we were
every week, no, it
prepared.
rains every day.
Yeah.
And we all packed, really, we didn't take much. We packed very lightly. And then I thought of poor Felice, because by the time I got home, I was sick of my clothes. And
Yes.
then she had another 9 days to wear the clothes.
Who cares though? If you're-
Yeah, I know. She did.
Yeah.
How about Cliffs of Moher?
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Very windy,
Oh,
but
yes.
it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, the
foggy.
Cliffs of Moher. Mhm.
See, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
always windy.
I have a couple cute pictures of Nancy Best.
Yeah.
Nancy, surely you did not wear a dress that day.
No, she didn't, but
Oh.
she had this raincoat that was really a little big for her.
Oh, okay.
And it was so windy, she put her hood up and then she rolled it back. So she had this bill on her hood.
Do you have photos of that, Jane?
I do. And I also
Okay.
have a photo where she walks in, staff only, do not enter.
Uh-huh.
She went in there. I got a photo of that. And I have a really cute photo of Nancy with the bellman when we first got to Dublin. She had on her purple raincoat and he had on his purple jacket that he
Oh my
greeted
God.
us with. It was really cute.
Did they understand her?
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Of course, of course.
well, they saw us coming. We went to 2 whiskey samplings. We had 2 happy hours with supposed to be tea, but they gave us champagne and all kinds of
Cool.
Food.
food for that.
Cool.
We had one day where we had had so much to eat, we just wanted cheese and crackers and some wine. So we found a poker room and we had our little happy hour in the poker room.
All right.
So we were in lovely, lovely hotels.
Hotels.
Yeah, they have a lot of lovely
Yeah.
hotels. Yeah.
And Diane, she really, if
Planned
any
it
of you are
well.
traveling, she really takes care of you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did she go too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Diane
yeah.
go? Okay, good, good.
And she kept working. Particularly when we get back to our room, she'd work
Yeah,
and she would answer the phone like she was just in her office,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Diane. I'm in
Yeah.
Ireland, but I'm not telling you that. So it was just really fun.
Well, that's great. What was your favorite of all things? Now I'm asking you first, then we'll ask Nancy.
Oh, my favorite was people, without a doubt. And there's
Yeah.
Jim. We were talking about you, Jim, finding
Uh-huh.
the music for us. But the people were absolutely
Yes.
Yeah.
so wonderful to us.
Yeah.
Don't you just love their accents?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
but they were easy to understand.
Oh, good.
Oh, really? By
Oh
the
my
time,
gosh.
our guide, I ended up being the one who could understand him the best.
Oh,
So I always had to sit up there next to him.
Oh.
Everybody else was
And
back in
he'd
the,
talk and then Tom would tell us what he said.
yeah, I would have to
oh,
interpret.
we didn't have any trouble with our
No,
guide. He was
Could you
great.
tell where in some towns it was a stronger accent than in others? Because Killarney was where he was from,
Mhm.
and that was the town that was the
Yeah.
toughest.
Oh
to
my
And
gosh.
ours was from Dublin.
Okay, well, that would have
Yeah,
been easy.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and you know, we had 8 people going in for like lunch in a pub, and they all looked crowded, and they always found us a place where we could sit
Mhm.
together.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
We
yeah.
never had to wait at all for,
Wow.
Yeah.
and we all tried the, you know, besides the whiskey tasting, we all tried the Guinness and the Murphys.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Did you try on the whiskey tasting, did you try Green Spot?
I don't think so. We
Um,
tried one called Liberator
Ooh,
after
That's what we
Donald
had to-
O'Connell, who was a liberator.
Kilkenny Ale.
Kilkenny. And you guys aren't into beer. When we were in Kilkenny, I fell in love with Kilkenny Cream Ale.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stuff is
Wow.
fabulous.
It's like you're drinking, I don't even know what. It's all creamy. It doesn't even taste like beer. 'Cause
Smooth.
I don't like beer and I was drinking it
Yeah,
like
you talk
crazy.
about smooth.
Oh
It
my
is
gosh,
the
it was good.
epitome of-
Yeah.
It
We
came
did
in and
try
had
it.
like, the glass was this big and it had this much foam on the top.
Oh, wow.
it always
well,
seems
we
like it
usually
took
got a
5 minutes.
glass. Nancy Mallet always got a pint.
Well, yeah, you're all supposed to
Yeah.
get pints when you're over there.
But we
Hey,
only had like 45 minutes for lunch, so.
Well,
Plenty of
Well,
time.
And then we always
That's why
had,
She was falling all the time, Jay.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, there you go. There's her problem. We've now
My,
diagnosed that.
My son and his wife were just spent the night with Nancy and Jerry night before last. And he said, what does she like to drink? And I said, Prosecco. And I said, but probably more than one bottle you should take.
Oh my
bottle.
God.
yeah, she's in the wrong country for
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
So, well, that's cool.
Nancy, what was your favorite?
I just thought the countryside was beautiful,
it
just
was.
gorgeous. And I never saw so many sheep in all my
I was
life.
just gonna say, did you see any sheep?
And the pitiful part about it, I only saw lamb on one menu and I never got any of my lamb chops.
That's
Oh.
true.
Darn.
When you were driving out in the countryside, did you get a chance to see where they had the dogs that were?
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
we saw
I
it.
saw
Cool.
that, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I heard,
That was amazing.
yeah,
That-
And all the fences that are made out of stones.
yeah,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the fields were, well, they call them emerald green because, you know, with
Yeah.
all their rain, they were really
Yeah.
beautiful. So,
Oh,
Did
it was
you-
a fantastic trip.
yeah,
Did you drive by golf courses?
we
Yeah,
drove
we
by
did.
some.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And you know, we went, oh, let's see, I forget where it was, where they had surfers and a lot of hikers and bikers.
Oh my gosh.
You know, people were definitely
Yeah.
out. I guess their weather is usually not very good, so
That's
when we
right.
were there, it was very
Yeah.
nice.
Not the time of year you were there.
Yeah, I know. Well, we kept looking every day at the forecast and it had rain, rain, rain. the whole weekend. It wasn't that way at all.
Matter of fact, near the end, the last 2 or 3 days, we had lots of sunshine.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
How'd you guys like Galway?
Oh,
we
we loved
loved it.
Felice is an expert now in Galway, Jim.
Oh,
She
she
came
is.
back yesterday.
Yeah.
Heard that.
God.
Did she make it back?
Yesterday,
Oh, good.
I know.
Yeah, sure.
And is she feeling okay?
She still has a cold.
All is all, yeah, okay.
And Nancy, how are you doing? Because she tested positive when
Yeah,
we got
Nancy
home.
tested positive. when she
Yeah,
went-
I'm
Yes.
good. I mean, I've got one more day of meds and quarantine, but I feel good.
What
So,
kind of meds
Well,
did they give you?
okay, let me tell you, it starts with an M, M-O-N, and it's a long name. And it says it's strictly for COVID.
Oh,
Pardon
Mon-
me?
monoclonal something.
That's it. And I was reading it the other day because I thought, well, I need a glass of wine. I wonder if it interacts. So I was reading, which it didn't. But it said it was good for the elderly and with underlying conditions. and with moderate to minor symptoms, which I fit that category all the way. Because I
Oh,
only-
you aren't elderly.
The elderly part.
Oh, shit.
I think over 75, you're elderly.
Okay, okay.
But anyway, but I had to take 4 of them, 4 capsules every 12 hours for 5 days.
Wow.
I thought, yeah. And then I got those pearls for the cough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those,
Just one pearls.
those did a good job. So, but a friend of mine who used to be a pharmacist called me today and we were talking. Because I said, well, the only thing is they didn't charge me for that drug.
Right, yeah.
And she said, well, I said, I heard it's because the government's supposed to be paying for the COVID medicine.
Yeah.
And she said, well, it's $700.
Oh,
My gosh.
That's what I said. And so I'm glad they didn't charge me. So,
Yeah.
Well, and police found in Ireland, they don't have that drug approved, so they
Right.
couldn't give her anything, but she took vitamin C and
and
Oh my God.
echinacea. That's what the pharmacist told
Oh.
me. Take
All right.
echinacea and vitamin C.
That'll work.
Yeah,
And-
echinacea.
But that's why it took her so long to recover.
And then
Wow.
Diane also tested positive, as did a friend of Carol's.
Yes.
But
Well,
I came, so 4 out of 8 tested positive when we got home. But I came home with a bad cold and I had all the symptoms of fleas, stuffy nose, and I was so tired. And I tested twice and it said negative. So I didn't go
Oh.
anywhere. So I quarantined myself because I felt kind of lousy, but I guess I didn't get it.
Did you guys wear masks at all?
Yeah.
No,
No,
No.
okay.
there were no masks and I'd say maybe 1% of the population
God.
wears a mask or wore a mask. Wouldn't you say, Jane?
Yeah,
Very
hardly
few.
anybody.
Yeah.
We were around a lot of people
Yeah.
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 Okay.
and we didn't wear masks on the airplane either.
Yeah, you didn't have to.
Going, I wore one coming home.
Which airline?
United, or Jane wore.
I was
Yeah.
American. Well, I was British Airways coming home, which is affiliated
nice.
with American.
Right.
And they were so short-staffed, they didn't even come through and pick up our trash or anything. We were on the plane for 11 hours.
Oh,
11. Ooh,
Well, because we flew directly from Shannon to Phoenix.
yeah.
Oh,
my
that's right.
gosh.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, Shannon's a great place to fly in and out of, I'll tell
yes,
you.
it's so. it's
Well,
much
And we
easier.
had a 5-hour layover at Heathrow.
Oh,
So,
Mm.
so, and I did not sleep at all the night before. I think just, you keep saying, like when I was in college and had a test the next day, I've got to sleep, I've got to sleep. And then mentally, you just can't. So I thought, well, I will sleep on the plane. I didn't sleep at all. I
yeah.
even took one of Caroline's sleeping pills, Nancy, and I just could not sleep.
Really?
And I think that's why I had a cold, no sleep at all.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's great. I'm sorry about all the COVID stuff, but
Yeah.
I knew you guys would have a good time because,
How could they not?
it was worth the risk, really.
Yeah.
yeah, we,
Yeah.
So what was the best music you found?
But we really didn't hear a lot of, except. that
Well, he
one.
played a lot our guide played a lot on
Yes.
the bus. And one was the song about 7 old ladies who got locked in the lavatory.
Who locked them in?
Somehow they just got locked in. And I think
Right.
after being with us for 9 days, he realized how that could happen.
Yeah.
and how many of you were there?
8.
8.
Oh, 8. Okay, 7.
We had
Okay.
2 that were not, the RHS group.
Yeah, I thought when you sent the pictures, I didn't
Yeah.
recognize a couple.
One lives in
Person I
Pebble
thought I
Creek
did
with-
recognize, but I couldn't figure out who that was.
Well,
So,
one lives in Pebble Creek with me and the other, Carol knew 50 years ago in Southern California.
Oh
And
my
we will
God.
tell you, I hate to occupy all the time, but we will tell you about Caroline. When she got to Dublin, her luggage did not arrive for 3 days.
Yeah.
And the second day, when we were with our guide and walking around, she discovered someone had gotten in her backpack and taken her wallet. So she was there without her wallet and without her clothes.
Oh my
no.
Mhm.
Wow.
And now and then she got COVID too.
Did you got COVID?
Oh my gosh.
So,
I don't know.
Okay, well, now let's see. we've got some other world travelers.
Yes.
Tom and Betsy. So let's hear about your trip.
I want to know how much weight you guys gained.
0.
Oh, you're
Very good.
kidding.
Even Tom,
You're kidding.
Betsy, even Tom didn't gain any?
We decided to go on a diet while we were on a vacation.
No, we
No.
didn't. Must have
Where'd you
been
guys go?
Mediterranean diet and walking all the time. I don't know.
Well,
So
so-
walking
Where'd you
does it.
go?
You know, after a while, I thought, do we have to eat another meal? But you know, it was really all really, really good. But we flew Lufthansa from nonstop from Chicago to Munich, both ways, and they required masks both ways.
Yeah.
So I guess it depended on the airline. But
Right,
once we got
yeah.
there, we saw some on public transit, but not otherwise.
So when all the time you guys were there, did you wear your masks at all? No.
Only on the airplanes, only on
Okay.
the,
Wow.
And did you have to wear them in the airport?
Don't know about that, but we did anyway.
Okay.
we didn't have to in the US airport, but we didn't, in Italy, they didn't. care.
No, in Italy, they didn't care.
So I don't think anyone on the call here knows about your trip. So could you kind of walk us through from when you left and how the flight was over to München, and then what you did on, into Italy, all that kind of stuff. Give them a blow by blow description.
Well, we first visited Andrew and Hannah, who live in Munich, 3 days roughly?
Yeah, to sort of get past the jet lag. from one
Yeah,
thing.
then we all got on a flight to Italy, which wasn't very long.
Down the east coast, Ancona. We went from Munich to Ancona, which was where the driver picked us up to go to where we were going to spend a week.
That took about an hour's drive
About
to
an
get
hour's
to
drive.
Umbria.
But the same,
Umbria, yeah.
Jane, they kept saying rain every day, rain every day,
And it didn't?
Hardly rained at
Oh.
all.
rained at all. So I don't
That's
know.
Great, good.
I think it's hard to predict.
I think
guess.
all the rain is in Seattle from what I'm hearing.
Uh-huh. And Miami
Florida,
this morning.
Miami.
And Florida
Right.
now.
And we have rain here, a lot of rain.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still in Hawaii?
No,
Oh, you're
In
back.
Eastern
in
Washington.
Oh,
well,
okay.
it doesn't rain.
So how was Umbria?
So then we spent a week there with a friend, with friends and Andrew and Hannah and a friend from Atlanta from a long time ago. He's a chef. So he was our chef for
Some of the meals.
some of the meals. And then they had arranged to go to all various places at the towns around the area. In Umbria, we went up to Florence one day,
Saw David there.
saw David.
Isn't that amazing?
You can't miss him.
He didn't have a lot to say, but it was impressive, yeah.
And
Was this a cooking
the
tour?
towns like Perugia and up to
Assisi,
Assisi and what was it?
and really actually very near or bordering on,
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on.
What?
what's the famous place in that part of Italy?
His Majesty's
Milan?
food.
No, we weren't that far north. We only went as far north as Florence. I don't know what your
Sicily?
Hilltown?
Lake Como?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Not that far north.
no, that's almost to Switzerland.
Oh,
Betsy might have been. interested in
Yeah,
that.
I've been looking for George. No, it was a lot of time we were at this really beautiful villa that this was owned by two Americans who had retired from the US and had been living there for 20 years, and they used it as they lived there and then they rented out the upstairs of their villa, and it looked out over the hillsides.
Over the valley, actually.
Yeah, in Umbria,
Tuscany.
Tuscany. It was
oh,
really beautiful.
yeah.
And
that-
then Michael, the chef, made some meals there, and we had our own kitchen too, so we could make up breakfast in the morning and so on. And they had a big agenda for the drivers would come and pick us up in the daytime and take us to wherever it was we were going to go that day.
Where a guide would speak
And a
to us
guide would
in
be
English about,
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we had a lot of good food and a lot of good wine.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all local for the
It
most
was all
part.
local,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you
but-
didn't necessarily drink any Amarone or Barolo or Brunello?
a little of some of that. Somebody fixed me a Negroni. Does anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Tony, yeah.
Negroni. I thought, wow. So I've been drinking a few of those in airports and bars around.
Since,
So
yeah, since.
anyway, what else about that? So this was a beautiful place that they developed over 20 years. If you want, I could send it to you, Tom, if I haven't already.
Okay.
It would explain a lot of what we can't explain about how beautiful it was. And,
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
it's for sale. Now we could do a group.
Oh, my
thing,
gosh.
Yeah, hey,
3 million or something like that.
But they did have a buyer coming that weekend, so it could already be.
A
sold.
physician from Rochester, New York, but we don't know what happened after that.
We don't know.
So Roger was a Delta pilot, also was in one of the recent wars. I don't know which one, but and she worked with Coca-Cola in some executive level. So, they were motivated and
They had done a lot of work on this.
done a
place,
lot of work, a
really.
lot of it themselves.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
knew everybody in every town that we went to with the guides. We don't know how, why, but
And she had learned Italian, but he had not.
Wow.
Oh, really? After being there 20 years?
Yeah, it might not have been his thing to learn language, I guess, because
she authored a book about
about how what they did. They bought when they bought this place 20 years ago, and all the work they had to do on it from it was in 1700. I mean, it's an old
beautiful.
stone, a stone house there that sat in the hillside. It's been there for
Oh,
hundreds of years. So.
Well, and if I don't tell you now, then I'll forget. So
Mhm.
Jane Ann and I had been watching this series on Acorn. And it's called Signora Volpe, meaning Mrs. Fox in Italian. Volpe is Fox. And it's like a little light mystery thing, but it takes place in Umbria.
Okay.
So if you want to get a feel for what they just experienced, including during this series, I think it was just 3 parts, the lady buys this old beat up place that's fallen down out in the countryside, all made out of stone, probably exactly like what they were into, and starts renovating it. So
oh,
if you want to get, it was worth watching this series, which is very good.
yeah,
It was worth watching it just for the scenery.
yeah.
So where did you say that was on? Where'd you
It's
watch
on Acorn.
Acorn.
On Acorn, okay.
Yeah, Acorn, which
And
I
what's
think
the
is
name?
pretty inexpensive for one of those.
Yeah, it's like
Streaming
$6.
things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's really good. It starts out, and the late Signora Volpe is with MI6, and she gets all PO'd because of something, and says, hell with it.
I'm
And
leaving.
her sister lives out in Umbria.
Yeah.
She decides to go visit, and then decides, hey, I'm staying. And I can see why.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Did you
anybody
guys even
watch-
think twice? Did you have to think twice about it? Because I mean, that's beautiful over there.
It is.
No, not at all. The best thing for me about it was that we all knew each other, except Hannah, Andrew's wife from Poland,
Mhm.
had not met Michael, the chef, and his wife Patty, but we all knew each other from starting in mid-70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, the chef, came from San Francisco and worked at Square One and learned a lot from Joyce Goldstein back in those days, and had numerous restaurants over 20 plus years in Atlanta. So including Roger and Joan, who used to go to the restaurants as well, but we didn't know them from those times, even though they were based in Atlanta at the time. So it was sort of like a homecoming of people that had some common interest, food and wine, obviously, but
Travel.
travel. Michael and Patty were there before and stayed on after the week together, traveling around various parts of Italy. I assume that Nick and Ronnie and Betsy and I paid for Andrew and Hannah. The 6 of us probably for what we paid, which was substantial, supported a profit for Joan and Roger, but also for Michael and Patty to fly over and cook meals and talk about old times, on and
That's
on.
great.
It was
So
really,
yeah, so they're the ones who found the location or knew of the location.
Yeah, they're the ones who put it together, and they had done it once before, and they were going to do it in 2019, 2020, and of
2020.
course,
Of course.
2020. So we got the benefit of that not happening in 2020.
Yeah,
The other town we went to in Tuscany was Cortona. I kept
Cortona.
just-
yes, we've been. to
We've been to Cortona.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
one that
So you guys
a lot
know,
of folks have been to.
Did anybody watch the Stanley Tucci?
Yeah.
it's like Eating
Yeah.
Your Way Through Italy or something like that?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That was a great show. He's in Venice and
Hmm.
I forget where all he was, Florence.
yeah. We
and
watched some of that.
Naples and- Yeah, it's very good if you all are, interested in the Italian cooking and scenery. It's really a good show.
Yeah,
I think it's on CNN, but you can probably get it on demand.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's.
well,
what-
it's interesting that you talked about, very few were wearing masks. We just got back from about 5 days in Chicago. And I'd say about 50% of the time
Yeah,
people
that's
were
what I
wearing
read.
masks.
Mhm.
We went to botanical gardens, even in the garden sometimes, if people everybody had their mask with them, and if they started to get around other people, they put their mask on.
Mhm.
And we went to the Science and
Industry.
Industry Museum, and lots of people had their masks on there.
Most people
Mhm.
did.
Most people did. Um,
And
It-
the two Frank Lloyd Wright houses.
Frank Lloyd Wright, I mean, you were
Oh,
required
we
to wear the
didn't go
mask.
there.
Yeah.
We actually went in a restaurant while we were in Chicago that required to see our vaccination proof.
Ah,
Oh, really?
And we never had to show ours at all.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to, Barb and I did not have to show our negative COVID test coming home.
Oh, my God.
yeah, there's inconsistencies about that.
Yeah,
Jane.
there really are. Mhm.
Nick
But the
and Rob,
rest of us did.
a couple I mentioned, they were on Delta and they had to, 3 different times, I think they had to show their,
That they had a negative.
yeah, we took a test within 24 hours of leaving,
Right.
and we had all the information, but
Nobody ever
nobody
asked.
asked for anything.
Oh, my gosh.
Threw it away a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
Now, Tom
But
and
you-
Betsy,
have it. I mean, you had to
Yeah.
have done it because if they did ask for it,
Yeah, and you didn't have it.
Better have it.
so Tom and Betsy, you had lived for quite a while in Chicago, so you probably know where Halstead is and where the DePaul University is.
Yeah,
more or
we
less,
do,
yeah.
yeah.
So we were one block
Somewhere.
east. We were one block east on Halstead from DePaul University. And it was a really fantastic boutique hotel, B&B kind of place.
Ah,
Villa de Cita, D''Citta. I don't know if that's Cita or Cheetah. I don't
We
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
Whether are you saying chow or, whatever.
Right.
But anyway, it was cool, but it was really interesting that everybody,
Were you there on
we wore
business?
masks
or-
most of the time because we were always around crowds of people.
Yeah,
Was
we
it
see-
business or pleasure?
Oh, we met some other couples,
Another couple.
another couple that flew out or drove out from Boulder, Colorado.
Dave Donaldson?
Yeah,
Yes,
Dave,
that's
yeah,
who.
it was
That's
Dave and
who.
Susan
You know
Donaldson.
him?
Yeah, and then Jane, did you know John Harris? I don't
Oh,
remember.
sure, from
Yeah,
Fort
okay,
Wayne.
his wife,
Lily was
Lily,
there.
came down from Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
anyway, we're talking about people the rest folks don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway,
No.
it's an interesting contrast.
Yeah.
So,
You
and
know, in and around Chicago, when we've been back there several times over the last couple of years, it seems like they've maintained wearing masks there more than any other place that we have visited, for whatever reason.
I don't know the
why
reason.
that is in particular.
now the one place that they didn't, hardly anybody, and it was a mob scene, was Millennial Park on Sunday.
Oh, my gosh.
hmm.
Wow, that place was mobbed. By the way, if any of you haven't been to Chicago, if you ever go, be sure you do the architectural tour. which
Yeah.
is on a boat where you go on the
Right.
river.
We've done that. Great, yes.
And of course, everybody had to wear masks then too.
So we lived
Yeah.
right across the street from the park
Millennium, yeah.
on Rand, 400 East Randolph, so we know what you're talking about.
But that's when there weren't any,
No one was around.
nobody was there, so access in that part of it was nice, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we get there, we go, why did we pick this weekend? 5 million people coming to town. Oh my gosh.
Well, you wanted to get out of Indianapolis for Memorial Weekend, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Because we had just scheduled a long time ago. We've been trying to get together with Dave and Susan for probably what, over 2 years.
Wow.
And canceled multiple trips with them.
Yeah, I think it's common though for the hardest part of the last 2 or 3 years for people when they have an opportunity to, we're tired of this crap. We need to do something, go somewhere. I don't
Yeah.
care
Right.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it costs. If you've been vaccinated and boosted, some people stop wearing masks, some people keep wearing masks, but in any case, you're probably not going to be seriously affected by
Right.
whatever happens next, if it does happen. Which reminds me, I was talking to Dick Bird a little while ago for a while. He asked about Sandy Armacost. Does anybody know?
Well, that's who I wanted. And then Vicky, I thought that
Okay.
she'd give us an update.
She's
And
fine. She was really sick for about 8 days. Of course, this is her second breakthrough COVID. She had the side effects of that monoclonal thing because that's what they wanted her to do.
Yeah.
And she
Mhm.
refused to take it, but she had not gotten her second booster. So she and Dwayne now have their second booster now.
Oh, good.
Fine.
So she's improving
She's good.
and feeling okay
Yeah.
at least?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell Birdman. He was,
Birdman.
that's the nickname, the latest nickname.
Latest nickname. okay.
so while we're on the subject of Sandy, so I had spoken with Dwayne before we left. So did all of you get the thing that I sent out about, do you want his book?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 So be sure that you get in touch with him if you
It's
want it.
sold out, I think.
It
Oh, it
did
is.
sell out. I would think it would.
If they haven't, I'm pretty sure it's sold out.
Yeah, I would think
Cool.
so.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someone can bring it in July and we can look at
That'd be
it.
a good idea, you know?
Well, he better have one there for
Yeah,
me
he
when I
better.
get there in July, or he's in trouble. Vicky, thanks for finally finding the obituary. It took forever for him to get it in the paper. And
This
then you
was,
said-
we have a little, it's called Western Wayne News. It's kind of like the graphic, if you remember the little graphic.
I remember the graphic, and I hadn't heard that forever. And when you said the graphic, I said, "Oh, Janie, I remember the graphic."
It's out of Cambridge City and it just comes every Wednesday and it has more local things than the Palladium item has.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it did, I kept thinking, I could have sworn that somebody had told me that he had been a football coach and had won several championships. And I thought it was a high school. Well, it was Test,
Yeah.
junior
Was-
high.
Yeah,
Oh,
both of my kids had him for class.
oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. So he lived in Richmond?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all his life.
Huh.
I played on baseball teams with him, the RHS team and American Legion baseball in summertime. I had seen him since though, so.
And that was a great picture of him. And that had to be recent because that picture of him looks like when he was on the Zoom call there, one of the early ones that we did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A really good picture. So anyway, so thank you, Vicky, for hanging in there and kept looking and looking and looking, and finally you got it. So, and then,
I'm going to change the subject real quickly.
yeah,
I did the first fun thing yesterday since I've been back from Ireland, and I went to see Maverick. If you haven't seen
Yeah.
it was absolutely spectacular. I loved it.
well, you
Yeah.
have to tell, I'm not familiar with
Yeah.
that.
It's a sequel to Top Gun.
Top
It's
Gun.
called
Oh,
Maverick.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know what the name of it was.
Yeah.
It was way better than the first one. It was
That's
so
what I've
good.
heard.
Oh,
No
yeah.
kidding.
Right.
My husband had never seen it, Top Gun, so we watched it the other day on Netflix because I want to go see Maverick.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
you don't have to watch Top Gun, but the first one, but it does help because
Yeah, we watched
there's
it
some of
last
the same
week.
characters. Yeah. It's
Now,
really good.
Gene, are
We
you
saw it
gonna
on the
do-
big screen.
Yeah, are you gonna take him with you when you go see Maverick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you will?
That's why we watched the other one. Hey,
Okay,
Tom, how come Bob's not on today's?
I don't
Is he okay?
know.
I don't know. I'll
He's
have to,
missing.
I'll have to
And-
check.
Yeah.
I did hear from Judy. She was having her cousins were coming today and she said to tell everybody hi.
Okay,
So,
Is
And
she
Bob
doing
is-
okay, Jane?
yeah, she's feeling great and she's out and about now.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Good.
Bob has been posting on Facebook, so it seems to be okay.
Mhm.
Is
yeah.
there a
Good.
golf match today
Yeah, I'm trying to-
somewhere?
Well, there's a lot of golf.
Lot of golf.
Yeah, golf, for sure.
A lot of golf and a lot of tennis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, is the Belmont today?
no, it's next
No,
week.
Next week, okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
So I want to ask about the music. So
What? You don't want
Last-
to talk about music?
the last playlist I sent out,
The Irish,
Yeah.
well.
Well, I like the Memorial
bagpipe-
Day.
Bagpipe one.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Old
Oh, okay.
Tucson starts off and I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this gonna be a Western movie?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, right. Then how about for you Texas residents,
Yeah.
Nancy Griffith stuff? Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Look at her. she's
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Loved it.
Lone Star
Right.
State of Mind?
No, I did not see it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'll
It's
have to go
interesting
back
because
and,
they interview her about, being a Texas native,
and who was this?
Nancy Griffith.
Nancy Griffith.
Who's she?
Oh, okay.
Well, I gotta admit, Jim, I never knew who she was either. I
I don't know who she
I
is.
think she's really talented, but
Yeah,
I sent it to that. In fact, I sent it to this guy, Dave Donaldson, and he said, "Oh man, she's one of my all-time favorites." And
yeah.
I
But
think,
he
"Oh, okay."
knows everything about every person that is in music.
Yeah.
Okay.
somebody Tom followed.
Yeah.
Because I think, is she from here? She from Austin?
So it's from
The Austin
Austin.
area?
Yeah, she's
I
from
don't know.
Austin.
I don't know.
I'm surprised.
But
Okay.
is she still alive? I thought something happened.
No,
to
she
her.
died. She died at age of 69.
Okay.
Ooh,
She had a lot of health issues towards the end.
Well, I always like
I
it that
thought the
you
Lone
include-
Star State of Mind was quite the
Yeah.
Slice and dice.
interview. Anyway,
Well, I always like it that you include something by Kev Mo, and there probably aren't too many of you who've ever heard of Kev Mo,
yeah.
but I've always known about Kev Mo.
Kim.
And yeah, unlike Jane Ann, I like Neil Young, so I thought that was cool.
Mhm.
In fact, I thought that was a really cool song.
Yeah,
it's
Jimmy
really-
and Tom kept me up one night, I think, till about
That you've
3
told them,
a.m.
you've told them they don't,
Listening to Neil Young.
we don't want to hear that
at
again.
top volume.
That's why you don't like him.
I
You
love
there,
Neil
Sue?
Young. It was the Frank Zappa stuff that I couldn't
Oh.
stand. Play that.
Okay, let's see. Now, I guess when I guess I'll just hold off and wait until I send out the reminder for the July call to find out how many people might, are planning to come to the
Yeah.
luncheon. So,
Sure.
Jane, you're going to be there.
I will be there.
Are you gonna be there, Nancy Nickel?
no,
Oh, you chicken.
Jane, you're going to be there, or do you have something planned?
Me? No, I'll be there.
And Vicky, you'll be there?
Yeah.
Good.
How about Becky? Is Becky gonna be there?
No, Becky
No. Darn it.
And Tom and Jesse won't be there.
year.
I was gonna say,
Susie's
I'm
gonna be
coming
there.
next year.
Okay, okay.
Do we have a place
Right.
lined up for next year? Or?
Not yet. Guys, I didn't want to even think about it yet. In fact, this morning, when I got up, I briefly thought about next year and I said, no, I can't think about that right now. I'm not
Tom,
thinking of,
Brianna Fisher's mom that Bob always talks about.
Mhm.
Her mother is the events coordinator at Forest Hills now. Lindy Fisher is.
okay.
I don't know if you were thinking of that or what we were thinking of, but
I want to do anything that will make it easy.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
And still
We
be
need an
nice.
event
of course,
planner.
yeah. But, dealing with, what's her name? Kristen there at the South Side,
Whatever it is.
whatever.
Legends.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very, very easy. And I mean,
Yeah.
she has
Oh my
it all
gosh.
down. She
Yeah.
knows what we do. So it's pretty much, I just call Kristen and say, okay, Kristen, do I have this date? And then,
Yeah, I mean, we might want to think about book, because I think as they are doing so many new things, we may want to take a look at least at a date and get it tied in if Forest Hills, if that's what you're interested in.
okay. So do you think?
It'd be nice to
we'd be
have
doing
dates.
that ahead
Well,
of
I will
time?
tell you, the traveling group is going to go to Quebec City in August. And they might want to combine that with the reunion. Now I'm
That's
trying to
next
look
year.
and see. Because like for Carol Fleming and people that live far away.
Mhm.
So let me just see if I can find, I put it in my calendar.
Okay. Well, I mean, August is fine.
We're going August 14th through the 18th. So before or after would be really good.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
So,
okay.
What
All right.
about?
All right, I promise I'll start looking at that. I tell you what, when I send the recording out of this call, I'll go ahead and say something in the blurb that goes along with it about
okay,
the dates. And I may get back in touch with you, Jane,
okay.
looking at those dates, and then have you ask, what's better before or after. or
Well, we
whatever.
have talked about it. And I don't think they care.
No, we don't. It's just we need to know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
It's a new
well, that'd be
plan.
good. Yeah, if we can do it around when the whole big group's gonna be available, that would be great.
So the 14th is a Monday. So, even the weekend before that. And then
Okay.
we come back on the 18th, which is a Friday.
Okay.
So probably either weekend would work.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, good. Well, Jean,
Yeah,
you get a gold star. You got this
got
star.
you going.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Jane, you get the
Silver star.
silver star.
Oh,
As long as you don't put Jean or me in charge, right, Jean?
J&J.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay. Hey, well, hey, you guys, we'll figure this out. We'll make it easy. And Vicky got involved the last time, probably more so than a lot of people.
Thank heavens.
And
Well,
she
how
actually-
many episodes are really going to be at this point? The Old Richmond Inn has a separate room from their restaurant, but it just depends on how many we think we might have. Of course, the
Right.
Rose Room at Forest Hills is smaller. I just don't think I don't think we're going to have enough people to have the whole ballroom if we do it at Forest Hills.
Right.
Probably
I-
not. I don't think
I would
so
agree.
either.
It's
Okay.
amazing. As I said, the hospital loaned Forest Hills $1 million to upgrade things.
Mhm.
And I'm concerned because there is a certain time Forest Hills is supposed to be paying that back, and I'm not sure they can, but at least they put a new roof on and done a lot of repairs. They tore out, for all of those that know the Forest Hills, tore out the old pool and the pool house. They now have a huge facility that matches the old Forest Hills where the pool house used to be, that is part pool house, but then it has virtual golf. It has a
Oh.
bar. It has a huge fitness room with anything you'd ever want for fitness.
Wow.
Just totally changed a lot of things. What they're doing is the doctors coming in town, they give them a free membership. They think it's going to keep them here longer, which I think is kind of silly because,
It's not.
everyday work thing. It's not going to matter if they, it's not going to matter if they have a Forest Hills membership to keep them here.
No.
I just,
Yeah, silly. They need to put that money in something else, but
I think
Yep.
they should too. Yeah.
um, we're
Okay.
losing our main cancer doctor here in Richmond. Dr. Sulfate is leaving.
Wow.
And his patients are just really devastated.
now we had the main one we had before, that I had is after I had one of my melanomas. He stayed in Richmond. He left Reed, but stayed in Richmond. He's now doing acupuncture.
Yeah, up on 27.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Sorry, yeah.
Wow.
Shaker.
Shaker, uh-huh. He was there when Dr. Jag and
Yeah.
Agarwal and those were there.
Vicky,
So-
you actually had melanoma?
I've had cancer 4 times. I've had breast cancer twice and I've had melanoma twice.
Oh, wow.
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 Man.
Well, stay out of the sun, will you?
Yeah.
I was out there all day, but I've got 100 days
Yeah.
on my body.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah.
Um,
I actually
So-
had a week, I had an upper and lower GI because I was having some problems, but they found nothing wrong. I don't think I can
Right.
vanilla yogurt again.
Oh my gosh. Are
well,
you allergic to something you're eating?
I don't know.
That could be.
wow.
Gluten.
No,
Okay.
they just didn't find much of anything wrong except it's diverticulosis, which is a pre-diverticulitis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Really? They think that that is it, huh?
Yeah.
How was that upper GI? I've never had one of those, but everybody who has it says it's terrible.
I don't know. They put you to sleep.
Oh, they did put you to sleep?
Oh, yeah, because they did them both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was having really, really bad heartburn and lots of things. And, once you've had cancer, a lot of times you just get things checked out to make sure.
Yeah.
but guess who?
Guess who's
Guess who, you
appearing?
guys? Bobby VP, BVP. And before BVP gets on, David Harold, would you try to tone it down just a little bit? I mean, man,
We can't even get him to crack up.
uh,
He's been attentive. He's been attentive.
yeah, Dave, what have you been doing? Have you surely you've been out sailing by now?
No,
No?
Oh,
sailing.
What's wrong with me?
Is it still too cold?
No, it's been too rough.
Oh.
Take some of the more disabled veterans out.
yeah. They
We don't want to have them
yeah.
fall off, then we have to go in for them, and I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
We'll start something called warrior sailing in a couple of months. That goes all around the United States, stops at different places.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Much
About
bigger
a
boat.
brief
It's like 40 foot long.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
mean,
really?
I'll do the sails.
Oh, wow.
So where are you gonna go?
It'll go out of ports on California and along the East Coast.
Man.
Okay.
Wow.
California.
We've kind of traveled everywhere today.
So when you're
Yeah,
on when you're on one of those sails,
Yeah.
and if it happens to coincide with when we're doing one of our calls, could you actually be on the call from the boat?
Depends how far out we are.
Oh.
Well, that would be cool
Yeah,
if you
that'd be-
could do that. So why don't you arrange that?
I'll try and arrange that.
Yeah, make it happen.
I mean, you
Come
know
into
when the
shore a
calls are
little
going to
bit.
be.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, the last 3 months, we've been either in Antigua or Barbados.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
gosh.
tough.
Really
Oh,
Oh, that's rough, man.
Wednesday, we leave for Cancun with the family, so.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
Hopefully it settles down in that ocean.
I
Yeah.
hope it does too. Yeah.
Have you been to Cancun before?
Yeah, many times.
Okay,
We're
okay,
going back to Xcaret. They built a brand new resort down there,
okay.
so we're gonna try that out. And then we go to Nassau in January, I think.
Okay,
And then San Juan, Puerto Rico, maybe in April.
okay. Well, one of those, then you have to do your call from there.
I will do that just for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
yeah,
David, I think you should come up to northern Michigan or Wisconsin to get a little contrast.
Yeah, come to Eastern
No, I don't know.
Washington.
That's cold
No, I
up
don't-
there.
Stay long.
That's right.
I'm trying to
Okay.
stay warm.
yeah. Okay, Bob Van Pelt, what
Where have
kept,
you been?
yeah, where you been, man? Everybody's
Yeah.
like, every darn time, if you don't show up in the beginning, everybody starts saying, they all get nervous. They say,
Where's
hey,
Bob?
where's Bob?
Where's
I
Bob?
will
come Bob's
confess,
not
I actually woke up just now.
Oh,
Really?
Now,
oh,
yeah,
oh, we thought you were watching golf.
I
yeah.
was doing that. Now I took a
Well,
break
well.
and now I'm watching it again. quite honestly. The US Women's Open is on and I'm watching that.
Okay.
Good.
So what's been happening out there?
Well, not much. Today or yesterday was National Donut Day and Bike Day. So I hope all of you got over your conflicts okay. That was a strange combination of national days. You guys remember a guy named Steve Helmick?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
He was principal of Cathedral for a while.
Cathedral High
Oh.
School for 17 years. Yeah, Steve came over. We had a great visit yesterday.
Great.
And was an IU center, graduated maybe in 68 from Richmond or 67.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was on an undefeated team in 67, but he came over. We had a great visit yesterday afternoon
Neat.
and good people.
Now, Susie, how did you know him?
How did I? Well,
Yeah,
first,
Steve, yeah.
first of all, he lived at the bottom of Ann Walker's driveway.
Okay.
Right,
Southeast
right.
Parkway.
South
Yeah,
Parkway.
yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
But then my son went to Cathedral, so
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And
My parents were good friends with his parents, so I knew all the kids too.
Okay.
Steve and his wife, Cindy Peters was her name. And she was a farm girl from down south of Richmond at US 27 down there, Straight Line Pike or somewhere.
Mhm.
And I baled hay for her father.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
In the summer, I was recreation director after I bombed out of the NFL. And we ran the summer playground program at all the elementary schools in Richmond. So Steve came in and applied for a job. And I said, Steve, I'm going to put you at Vale School this year because there's this really cute little farm girl coming in from, and I know her father and her parents. Her mom worked at Second National Bank, Susie, for years.
Oh, my gosh.
Her mother, Martha Peters, was a teller. Vicki, you may remember her. At Second National Bank, right on National Road East or Main Street East
Mhm.
for years. So anyway, I was the matchmaker between he and his wife.
That's cool, man. That's
And he was a center, Tom, and I taught him how to snap and da-da-da.
Oh, my gosh.
And so we go through all that stuff yesterday when Scott and Steve Porter came in for a while. And they were going, what? I said, no, it's true. You know, you can't make this stuff up. So we had a good time yesterday. Yeah.
All
cool.
right.
That's great. That sounds like it would have been a real fun
Now,
time.
Mike's on seeing you okay with the weather coming in down there?
I don't know.
I checked in with a friend who lives near Lauderdale and West Palm,
Yeah,
and he said it was no big deal where they are.
I
great.
have a
That's
friend
awesome.
visiting in Jupiter and she said it's terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's
No,
where's Jupiter?
It's a lot of
Well,
rain.
he flew into Fort Lauderdale, so
A friend of mine down there, Tom, had 6 inches on his rain gauge already. So
Wow.
I think it's due to come ashore tomorrow. Is that correct?
I think
Wow,
so.
because my friend that I called, he and I played football together. He's also my fraternity little brother. And they're supposed to fly back to Toledo tomorrow. Huh.
Fun.
Mhm.
Maybe.
But I called him this morning because Jane Ann, as soon as we got up, Jane Ann yells up at me. She said, "Hey, does Donnie live anywhere near Miami?"
Yeah.
Said Miami's got 3 feet of water
Yeah.
on all the
They were
streets. And I'm-
showing the streets this morning. It was just.
He's just outside of Miami, Tom. Yeah, north of Miami.
But he said that, no, he said, we've had worse than this before. He said, you know, it got a little windy there for a while and we got a lot of rain but so.
Not a biggie. Yeah, that's great.
I was online with Cini earlier this morning. And
Oh, well, then you can tell us.
He didn't
He didn't
mention,
say.
he did, I think he would have mentioned it for
Sure.
some
Okay.
serious. It just looks like the radar is showing passing storms, but not in a front or anything organized.
Got you, Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
thank you.
Now,
He's-
Tom, where is he?
He's in near West Palm.
Okay, so he's over there where my
Yeah,
friend is.
yeah.
Wellington, yeah,
Wellington,
it's
Yeah.
people who are into polo and horses, yeah,
Yeah.
very near there.
And why doesn't he ever get on Zoom?
See
I
that?
don't-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
We were just visiting Sonsini, and you might want to wonder why we were there.
Yes.
A little bit higher.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh,
McCartney.
wow.
Paul McCartney, got it. Paul McCartney.
So what do you think, Betsy?
What's that?
What do you think? Was it absolutely fabulous?
It was good. It was good. No, I had a really good ticket where I go beforehand and within only a couple hundred people and watch the
Sound check.
sound check, and that was really good. It's actually better. Well, it's both the concert.
Betsy, give the crowd your numbers of McCartney visits, Betsy.
Well, it was number 48.
Oh,
But
Wow.
Is his voice starting to fail a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's weaker than was, but there are lots of people. These crowds are young. I mean, I'm an old
Surprisingly.
person in these crowds. It's
Wow.
amazing how many young people are, and they just think it's great because they've never seen him before. And the people who've been there many, many times go, "Oh, his voice is getting," but everybody else thinks it's
Nobody really
great.
cares
Nobody
though.
cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Bet
Betsy
that's
gets
true, TK, yeah.
She gets respect when people
No.
talk to her and say, well, I saw the Beatles at Shea
Yeah.
Stadium.
No, I
and-
was in between with this ticket, you get to go to dinner with folks who have the same ticket. And
Yeah.
so I was talking to a couple, and he was from Argentina and she was from Madrid. He was in 80 plus concerts he's been
Oh
to.
my
So-
God.
Oh, my
wow.
My
So
God.
he was, my 48 was no big deal. But then when I told him that I had been was at Shea Stadium, he goes, "Oh my God." I was like, he wasn't as old as I am, so he couldn't have been at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So it was fun. Yeah, it's always fun.
But her ticket was so good that I didn't get to go.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Right.
It was at Hard Rock Live, which is right near Fort Lauderdale Airport.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Hollywood.
It's a really nice small venue. I mean, it was only 7,000 people. I mean,
Really?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's-
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
So the
God,
sound,
that's awesome. Yeah.
you were up closer,
yeah. So,
14 songs.
but it's a really nice for any kind of music venue. The acoustic, they had torn down their old music venue there and built this recently, and they did a really nice job. Anyway,
So
was fun.
except for that night, when we stayed nearby, but we were at Cini's house before and after. So
Yeah.
a lot of
Awesome.
food
Yeah.
and wine. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Good time was had by all.
Good
Yeah.
time.
But Betsy,
he-
you were,
Why he doesn't get on his phone on these calls,
We
he
don't
doesn't
know.
say. We don't know.
And he's the kind of person I think would like that. He likes to talk, and he likes to, Bird calls him mother hen, and he's always making sure. He'll call you up and say, "You doing all right? You doing- What about, oh, yeah." Anyway,
That's exactly right, yeah.
Well, he posts the most gorgeous nature pictures on Facebook.
Yes.
They are just fabulous.
Yeah.
where he's taking them?
I don't
No.
know where he gets them off of the
Yeah, I think
internet. Yes.
Forwarding. I think he's
Mhm.
forwarding them from other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're just outstanding.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. So Betsy, you were the only one who went.
Yes.
Okay.
Tom,
Yeah,
give everybody your count, TK.
I don't know, 32,
Something
33.
like that.
It's
Yeah,
when
so
the
there's a little disparity there on Betsy's side, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
mostly has to do with if you get the VIP ticket, it's crazy money,
Yeah.
and I
To
don't.
get two of them, he's.
I really like to go, but
Not that much.
I've seen his act, and I love
Yeah.
it. Great time every
Yeah.
time, Jim. So
But that's not you, TK, yeah, I'm with you.
But I always like asking people why they got,
yeah.
why they, because there was a young couple behind me, 30s somethings, and they were there for the sound check. Why got them involved in this music? And this one fellow said this was his bucket list, and that I'm thinking bucket list at age 30 something, but anyway.
Yeah.
Terminal disease.
But his girlfriend or his wife or whoever, she had bought this ticket for his birthday present, but what she hadn't told him till they got there in line was it was for the special ticket to go into the sound check. he was beside himself.
Oh my gosh.
This
Wow,
was
yeah.
so excited.
Like Andrew's age.
Yeah, so it's just fun when people get that excited about the music.
About a
Oh, my
guy,
God, yeah.
June 18th, he'll be 80 years old.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Good
my
show,
gosh.
even if his voice is not as good, certainly as it used to be, but.
Then a couple of wish for Dick Gordon.
One
like
of the things, Betsy, and you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, there's some really cool clips on the Queen celebration.
Oh, I
Mm,
saw
Paul
that.
Paul McCartney being knighted. I mean, it is tearjerking.
Oh,
man.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
I saw that.
It
The
is
one with Gail
amazing. Yeah.
King, that Gail
Yes.
King interviews
Yes,
him.
the
It's
other
great.
night.
Yeah,
I
this
saw
morning.
that.
That's great.
So she looks pretty darn good for 96. I
Oh,
have
Oh
to
my
yes.
say.
gosh.
Oh, my God,
Yeah,
yes.
really.
the fact that she's breathing is pretty
And
good.
little
Yeah,
Louis,
really.
for sure, yeah.
Hey, we're all gonna look that good at
Oh, yeah,
96. Come
right.
on.
Yeah.
Jim, do you go to live concerts if you can and accessible and reasonably priced? Do you get to go sometimes?
No, we don't. Well, where we are, we're kind of far away from
Yeah.
anything.
The live shows, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's see, when we were closer to Seattle, there was all kinds of concerts and whatnot, but now we'd have to really make a trip to go
Yeah,
to anybody.
Yeah.
Jim,
okay.
how close are you to Spokane?
4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Well, McCartney. that
Yeah,
was the
he
opening.
started there in Spokane, which was
Mhm.
unusual.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, in fact, Betsy, I thought that this particular tour, that almost all of the venues were small.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Some of them are like Fenway Park.
Oh,
Oh my
really?
gosh.
Okay.
No, most of them are like hockey, basketball arena size, and
Okay.
some big stadium size.
Isn't it the last one in New York City, where the Giants play football?
Yeah, so some of them are
That'd be
big
75,000
stadiums.
or so.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we were looking at the list of venues or locations, and we were just trying to find some around here fairly close. And like one of them was in Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Wow.
That one was the last four, yeah.
That was the last story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think though, in any case, at his age, not that he's unhealthy and he's not quite the voice he once was, but when is the last one going to be? I think for a lot of people, they're wondering.
It's kind of like Elton John. His voice isn't quite the
Yeah.
same, but you know, he's still, it's an awesome performance.
Yeah.
But like you said, TK, it's going to be over sometime soon. So
Yeah.
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 Oh, look at the Rolling Stones. They're still.
They're still crazy.
But they're about the same age, right? They're about the same age.
Oh, yeah. There's
Yeah.
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 I thought Mick
Same
was
venue,
82
same
or
year
80
for sure.
82 or something.
McCartney claims that
No, he's not?
No,
Okay.
no mix. No.
Mm-mm.
McCartney claims he'll keep going as long as he can, and he's still having a good time. I mean, he does 36, 37, 38 songs with no intermission.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
looks like he's taken an extra day or so between concerts that he
This
didn't
time.
used to do. So maybe he needs
Mhm.
a little recovery. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I would need recovery for sure.
I don't know how old Jimmy Buffett is, but he still puts on a heck of a show.
Yeah.
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 He's up there with us, I think.
I think he's our age.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close, I think, Tom, yeah.
Now, the other thing, and I don't know, I wasn't on the last call, so well, Betsy, you weren't on the last call either,
No.
right?
No, we missed it.
So, but we had talked to you, and I don't know how many of the rest of you had watched the Beatles thing on Disney, the Disney Channel.
Mm.
I started to watch
Get
it.
Back.
Get back.
And so, because Betsy and Tom are such connoisseurs, especially Betsy, so she did watch it all the way through. I don't think Tom made it all the way through.
Yeah,
But-
he watched
Yeah.
last.
I watched the last one. No.
So Betsy, do you have any gems that you would like to share with them from that?
I would say if you were not really a huge fan, it was a bit tedious
Yes, it was.
Yes.
watching
was
all.
indeed,
I
yes.
found it interesting. But I think a lot of folks wouldn't want to watch it all, but my impressions were that they had this time frame to get all this music done.
Yes.
my impression, of course, I might be biased,
What?
but if McCartney hadn't pressed him on, they could never have gotten it done. He was the
The
taskmaster
Beatles, yeah.
of the group. You know, John was kind of all over here, and George left for a while, and Ringo, he just sits there and waits for them to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Bang away.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
But
can
they
see
had-
why they eventually broke up. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of
Out of
conflict
friction in
his
there.
life.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
On the other hand, they were also very in sync with you, and at times though very in sync with each other. And I couldn't tell how you could get from where they started with one of these songs
Oh, my God.
where they ended with something that sounded so put together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's,
Anyway, it was interesting.
Very interesting. And some of
I've got to leave, so I will see you guys next month. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gene, I
Thank you.
may get in touch
Jane.
with you if I get started on this thing for next
Okay.
year, for if I have some questions.
Okay, all right.
And
Thank-
I do appreciate you bringing it up,
All righty.
even though I was trying to forget about it.
Have a great month.
Thank you. You too, Gene.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the things that I thought was so interesting is that they would have this guy that would go with them, and he would be writing down, as they would come up with words, he would write all this stuff down.
Yeah.
Now, they would always keep the music in their heads, but the words, they would
Yeah.
write, or they were scribbling stuff
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tom and Betsy are going to come stay overnight when we do the luncheon.
Luncheon.
yeah.
So I had gotten this. In fact, I think Diane, my business partner, gave this to me. It was a 2-volume set, and it's called Lyrics.
Oh,
Yeah.
All of his songs, but trust me, it really is like his biography.
Yeah.
And they talking all about what all they were doing and how they did it and everything else, and tons and tons and tons of pictures. And it's very, very, very interesting.
Mm.
Very interesting.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
And they've got stuff where he had written out songs, the words for the songs. I forget who it was that. Oh, Linda.
Yeah.
His first wife, Linda, made him gather all that stuff up. He was just pitching it, just throwing it away and not paying attention to it. I think that was how that happened.
Mhm.
She,
Those notes alone would be worth millions of dollars if
yeah.
if somebody got them out of the trash.
Well, Jim, I'm surprised, Jim, that you didn't watch that all the way
Yeah.
through, because I'll tell you what, if you like music and trying to figure out how they did that,
That's what. was so
it'll blow your
incredible.
mind
Well,
how they did that.
You can read a book about all this stuff.
yeah, it got kind of tedious, and you could see just from this, the conflict that was going on inside
Yeah.
that group was not
Mhm.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, they eventually kind of got over that.
Yeah.
They
They
kind
got
of got
through it.
over it, but
Yeah, they
yeah,
got through it.
yeah.
But anyway,
Hey, guys, the Honors and Awards Assembly was at Richmond High School this week. And in the series of scholarship, Frank Alter's family presented a $500 scholarship for a young person that's going to go to somewhere to play soccer in college.
oh, cool.
And then there was another one that was from Ron Cross's family about his son that died, that played golf at Ball State.
Yeah, yeah.
Justin and several people that we would know, teachers and that kind of thing, that endowed scholarships when they retired and passed away.
Ah,
My brother Jim and Jane Ann and I established a scholarship in my sister's name, Nancy Keeler.
Nancy Cure, I started to send you that, Tom, or maybe I did send it to somebody,
Yeah,
maybe
And,
Susie or somebody, yeah,
they always send us a thing. I just got it from Jim the other day.
a receipt, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who all about the person who got the scholarship, and
Yeah,
cool.
Oh, good.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
it's
gonna
awesome.
go to Taylor University.
Ah,
Anyway,
Yeah, they were one of our big rivals when I was at Earlham College. And,
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
Taylor, yeah.
yeah.
I don't like Taylor too much, but this.
Well,
Just
Becky, you've been awfully quiet also this time. Is it because we just were too gabby and you couldn't get a
I'm
word in
just
edgewise?
listening.
Okay.
You had your
It's been awfully hot down here and I spend most of my time, I got back on the computer to do some genealogy work. And my goodness, on my mother's side, there were too many people by the same name.
Oh.
They got into this
What's wrong with that?
Leon Augustine Mongiat.
Huh.
And then it could be Augustine Leon Mongiat. And it's like, oh my goodness, sorting it out has been a nightmare.
Oh, that's funny.
But I got him back to France and I said, okay, we're going to leave that side of the family alone and go to my dad's side of the family. It's a little easier. I mean, it's just, straight down the line.
Well, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's
It's fun.
Cool.
So you haven't run into any like real, like any of your relatives that like rob banks or,
No, I've got a lot of divorces though.
Yeah.
There
okay.
was I think my great grandmother divorced 3-4 times, and my grandmother divorced 3 or 4 times.
Oh my God.
And I've got cousins that live out in California that are Hispanic.
Oh my God.
'Cause she married a Hispanic guy. And I says, I don't know about this. But it's been very interesting because I was adopted.
Oh, we
Oh
didn't
my
know
gosh.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hey,
Yeah. My mother and father got a divorce, and my great aunt decided, she said, no, she's going to stay with me. So my great aunt adopted me. But I was always,
remember that, Becky.
always I was
That's
always
when we-
connected to my mom.
Carpooled it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
between first and second grade.
Hmm.
I was a
Wow.
hunt to begin with. But I got together with all, I've always been with my mom because she was still my relative.
Yeah.
And so my dad and I got back together in 86.
Okay.
So I'm tracing his side of the family back now.
Oh,
But I
Okay.
haven't found anybody famous. I haven't found any royalty. Now Tom went back and he found royalty besides Ben
Ooh.
Franklin.
royalty. Really?
Yeah. Supposedly he's related to Charlemagne, but everybody's related to Charlemagne.
everybody.
Either that or Attila the Hun. Becky.
Right.
That's the two sides of the world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Damn,
But I
Bob,
got
you even
records.
remember your geography and history.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Charlie
I've got
Hilton was a
records that
buddy of
Tom
mine.
did that is tracing the lineage back to on his side of the family to royalty. So Tom was a royal.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Becky,
can't claim that fame.
Becky,
Yeah,
are
that's,
some of your relatives interested in, or do they even know that you're doing this? Are they interested in what you find out?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I've had this I've been on Ancestry for quite a while, but I'm just getting back into it. Hey, gonna cost so much, I might as well make use of it.
There you go.
Hey,
Okay.
guys, any of you guys that are interested in leadership or management, an IU teammate of mine named Phil Westfall was from Springfield South. And I'm fiddling around the other day, and the Tamron Hall show is giving a preview of their guests. And Phil Westfall's son, Chris Westfall, is on Tamron Hall.
Oh my God.
And I thought, now I'm going to watch that because I knew Phil well. He was a year behind me in school, Tom, and played quarterback at IU. But if you're on your computer and you're interested in leadership, he has written several books and speaks around the country anyway, to groups of various sizes on leadership. And one of them's called The Elevator Goes Up or something. 60 Ways to Improve Your Life is one of them. And really, really good stuff.
And what's his?
But he was actually a former Hollywood stuntman
Oh,
Really?
and an athlete of sort.
Huh.
Okay. I'll
Chris
look that up.
Westfall, Tom.
I'll definitely look that up. Yeah, my business partner may be interested in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Okay, well, now, last but very definitely not least,
No.
Susie, you've hardly said 2 words. Do you
Yes,
have any
yes.
words of wisdom for us before we sign off?
I don't.
Well, what have you been doing?
Working.
Working.
Working. can't
Have you
tell.
gone to any cool places for dinner?
No, because we keep forgetting to get her on the
No.
program.
No, but when you were talking about, somebody was talking about showing their, validation of their,
Yeah. Vaccine thing.
vaccines. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was asked for that at a restaurant here
Oh
in
my
Oh, you
gosh.
were? Wow.
What
Okay.
happened?
Oh, I mean, they told before, bring
Uh,
a copy of it and
Yeah.
they had the door locked and they would not let anyone in. You stood
Wow.
out there and they could see you somehow and they would come and say, show me. And then you could come.
Oh,
Yeah, the only
Wow.
place we've been is IRT. You've had to show that to get in to see the plays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
Well, how was the meal?
Oh, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was Ethiopian.
Mm,
hmm.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Just good.
Okay. Let's see, nobody else is from Indianapolis. So Susie, I don't think I've ever asked you. Oh, shoot, now I'm going to forget the name of
Uh-huh.
it. Geraldine's.
Oh,
Been there.
over on Shelby.
Yes.
That I never knew that place existed. My
So-
my son lives pretty close to there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually they got a gift certificate. I don't know who gave that to them, but anyway, they went. It's very high end.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's a place, if anybody gets to Indianapolis, you want to go to some place that's really, and it's kind of like, 1920s, 1930s ambiance inside.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Very. I mean, in an area where you would be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's this coming from? Yeah.
it's kind of close to Fountain Square, but not really.
Yeah.
It's kind of close to Fountain Square, but not really. You're right.
Not really, and it's kind of shaky looking, but
Kind of
Man.
shady. Yeah, but amazing.
yeah. Okay, well,
Over and out.
it's 4:27, so we're a
Yeah.
little bit over, but we went over for Tom Kinder.
Yeah.
Tom does not like to stop at 4:20.
So 427.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, Tom, you don't have a glass of wine.
Yeah, what's
What's
wrong?
going
with
on?
have a glass of wine.
Oh,
There
yeah.
it is.
Okay.
He's been drinking. I saw it.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
But
all
here,
right, you guys.
look,
Well,
see, I lean over and I leave the,
Okay.
then I come,
That's why he keeps leaning out of the
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
now, David Harold, between now and our July call, would you have gone to any place exotic yet?
Just
Can't-
Barbados.
You
Barbados.
will? Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be on that call then in July? The first Saturday in July?
First Saturday in July. I have to look at my calendar.
Wait, isn't that,
Yes.
Fourth
Okay.
of July weekend, yeah.
is that
We
4th of
we
July?
want you to describe Barbados, and if you'll send me some pictures in advance, I'll try to include them in the reminder thing.
It'll
Okay.
just be the Sandals Resort because we just played around and drank
Oh,
ourselves.
just
through
Sandals. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you mean you're not going to get out and go about the island at all?
We went
Wow.
downtown, but it wasn't super exciting. So we
Okay.
went back and drank some more.
Okay.
Mm.
Guys, the time we went to Barbados, we went all around the
Oh, we
entire
went,
island. It's a
It's
cool
gorgeous,
island. It's
yeah.
a cool.
Yeah, I had a chief gunner's mate that used to work for me on the ship. He's got a place down there, but I couldn't get a hold of him.
Oh, that's right. You did tell us that.
He saw the caller ID.
Because I'm on my Zoom.
And
He want to talk to you.
one of the famous things about Barbados, and this is going way back. I don't even know if you guys, do any of you know of the old time actress Claudette Colbert?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
heard of it.
She lived there.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, she had an estate. In fact, she was still alive then when we were.
I don't
Yeah. So anyway,
wow.
Well, with that, then we'll go. I'm glad I
Okay.
remembered to record. And let's
Tommy?
let's hope that I don't have to send you any obituaries.
Yes.
Yeah, please
no,
don't.
Please don't.
Please. Yeah,
And everybody, wear your masks and stay away from COVID. Yes, Tom?
Yes.
Harvey and Rosie are in Europe for 3 weeks. I don't know how long they've been there.
That's right. That's why they're not on the call.
They're not on the call today, but for next time, you might get prepared.
Okay,
Okay, we need a
okay.
report.
okay.
Cruise, river cruise, I think, and they're also going to an event.
A big, what am I trying to
Is
say?
it about flowers?
About flower or floral event or garden event of some sort that happens every 10 years. So you might be interested in that.
Near
Oh
Amsterdam,
my gosh, yeah.
called Florian, maybe Florian or something
Something
close to
like
that,
that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
Okay. I'll send him a message then about, when it gets close, and I'll say, hey, can you, give us a,
Mhm.
yeah.
So the next one is Saturday the 2nd.
Right.
Which
Maybe.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
That's that's 4th of July weekend.
I hope there's somebody on the screen.
Right.
yeah, right.
I have nothing planned, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I can change it because if I
No,
change
no,
it,
yeah.
it's just alerting people that,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think everybody will be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know what it is.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Everybody.
Have a good week.
And Jim, keep the music coming.
Yes.
don't
for
know.
sure.
Thank you, Jim.
Keep it
Yeah.
coming.
Okay, see ya. You look good, Nancy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
glad to see you.
Glad you're okay.
Thank you. Me
Okay.
too.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.
Where's Toot?